You had very interesting callers. In fact, one caller called in from Tennessee. He was talking about the situation in Burundi, but he tied it to the situation in Rwanda, where the U.S. is talking about term limits, insisting that President Nkurunziza shouldn't run for a third term. And yet in Rwanda, the president in Rwanda has managed to somehow to convince the population that he's still the right guy. Was there some kind of pushback?
I think she was very clear. She said that they have one policy really. It's not really a question of double standards. As far as Rwanda is concerned, they expect a transition from President Paul Kagame to someone else. And so she said that the fact that they don't talk about these things sometimes on television and whatever doesn't mean that they are not engaging those players who happen to be their allies on the ground.
You asked the Assistant Secretary of State if the U.S. government can change its policy towards leaders who change our constitution. What were you trying to get across?
I was trying to argue that perhaps some African leaders have become very sophisticated to the extent that rather than, in fact, impose themselves on their people through military coups, all they need to do now is to use another approach. If something is done legally, sometimes it may be a little bit difficult. But I think, frankly, what is needed is a consensus in the international community that nobody is going to benefit personally or politically by changing the very constitution that they sought to protect, to defend, and to preserve.